It is the new year. It's January 2nd. Happy New Year to everyone. And thank you for being here, of course. I wanted to go over with you a little year in review / look ahead. It's going to be, well, I always going to say relatively quickly, and then, I just get chatting, so we'll see. I didn't look back to this is my first full year of podcasting. The 2020, I made some videos, but they were just sporadic videos. They were not the vlog or podcast style that we had this year. So this is my first full year of podcasting. I am very much enjoying it. I like the switch to the vlog style, even though my vlog style is not as professional or nice or fancy as a lot of other people. I've mentioned this before. On one hand, I would love it to appear, how nice and precise it looks when you take the time to get the best shots and the best lighting. But do I want to take the time to get the best shots and the best lighting? No. I want to get to my knitting. So maybe there'll be a happy medium that I can improve upon this year. We'll see. I really enjoyed in 2021 focusing more on making for myself or my family gifts that I want to make and aren't. I turned my hobby into a business really early on, but I'm kind of enjoying reverting it back to a hobby for me and for people I love. So we'll see what happens with EB Knits in the business in the future. I have some ideas of transforming it or, guiding it down a different path. So we'll see. So let's jump in. I figured for my year in review, I was just going to throw a shirt on, but then I was like, no. So I'm wearing my two favorite makes of the last year. This is my Ranunculus, and that was my most popular video, so probably if you're watching this, a lot of you came from that video. I made 4 of them. Myself, my mom, my sister, and my grandma all got one, and that was super special. Oh, actually, I'm not going to insert the picture, but if you can see this, I'll show it here. That's the picture of the 4 of us in our Ranunculuses. So that is really special. So this is one of my favorite makes, and then this is my favorite make of the second half of the year, the shawlography, which obviously my first Stephen West, my first Mystery Knit Along, my first fingering weight project, my first shawl. So lots of firsts here, and I love it. I don't keep it on the back of the couch because Moonlight, our cat, likes to sit on the back of the couch, and I don't want her messing with it, but I keep it behind this area, so I reach for it on evenings when I am chilly. So those are the 2 things I'm wearing right now. I figured, and those are my 2 favorite makes of 2021. So let's get into it. Let's go to the year in review, and then I guess we can talk about 2022 goals, even though goals and plans for 2022 is a very loose term. So let me take a look at my notes over there. 2021, I learned brioche, and that was super exciting. I did my first couple of test knits. I did 2 test knits. I thought I would really fall into that test knit train. It seems like when people start to test knit, they kind of just never stop, and they apply. And after the 2 that I did, I would definitely do it again. But I also just I don't know. I just didn't fall in love with it. But I do like the sense of community if you find the right test group. So yeah, I think it has potential, and I could see myself if I really like a pattern applying for it. But it's not something I have to do all the time or desire to do all of the time. I like just making a couple projects at once, not putting pressure on myself. I guess, also something of 2021, I became less of a monogamous knitter, maybe. I've set some projects aside to work on some other projects. I have a tank top that's been languishing since August. I used to just be one project done, get off my needles, the next project. I still don't have 6, but I do have a couple projects that I've put on the back burner or even put aside to work on other things. So that was new for me this year. Let's see what's next. First shawl. that was this, which I surprisingly loved. I thought I wouldn't be a shawl knitter. I thought, what's the point of shawls? I live in, whatever, I say it all the time. I live in a warm climate. What do I need a shawl for? I definitely will be bringing this if or when I go home to Illinois in the wintertime, which I hope I will. So yeah, I've also loved the pressed flowers shawl by, is it Amy Christopherson, I think? And that I would love to make for the next year. I would also love to participate in the next Mystery Knit Along from Stephen West. And I've got a shawl by Espace Tricot in my queue that I want to make as well. So those are all plans. I don't know when. Sorry, I don't know the best way to wear. Oh, there we go. So I don't know when those will be happening, but those are all kind of things that I never knew I would really want to wear. But it's also nice that it's just like you can take it off when you don't want to wear it anymore, so it's not like a full-on pullover or sweater. Next, let's get into my yarns that I tried. The yarns, I don't think I bought any indie dyed yarn this year, to be honest, which I love. So I've followed a ton and saved a bunch for the future, but I don't think I purchased any, if I'm thinking right, which is a little bit weird. But I guess I did stick more with like the solid colors, and I tend to go to maybe more commercially type yarns for those, and I wanted to go the variegated routes for the indie dyers, because that's what makes it so unique and fun to me, and the speckles. But yeah, I absolutely want to support small business. I want to share all of their businesses, so this is nothing against indie dyed yarn in any type of way. It's just a reflection of actually a surprise that when I think about it, I didn't purchase indie dyed yarn that I could think of. Yarn that I did purchase, which some of this is more commercial, but I'm proud of myself for when I searched it. I'm searching on Etsy and small shops, so I'm buying Malabrigo. That was my favorite yarn of the year. Everyone was right. It's so soft and fantastic. I will definitely be using it more. I purchased that from a shop called Jen S Creations on Etsy. Even when I purchased the yarn for my mom's sweater, the We Are Knitters yarn, I purchased it from a small shop on Etsy, the 100 Hats Project. The Brown Sheep Wool Co. skeins that I bought from a shop on Etsy. Over the Rainbow Felting or something like that. So even if I'm looking for a more commercial or more affordable yarn, I like that I'm still going to a small shop to purchase it. So I will continue to do that in the future, even more local yarn shops, now that I have easier transportation. I would go, and even if I'm not purchasing some, more expensive hand-dyed yarn, I would rather purchase a commercial or a larger, just supporting a small shop in some way is what I'm trying to get at, is that I still, even though I can't do, the $30 skein indie dyed yarn all the time, or very often at all, I am glad that I'm supporting small when I can. So, and these are my first attempt, but I'm actually gonna transition onto kind of contradicting myself right now, and mention I did try Knit Picks this year, and I really liked it. So I ordered twice from Knit Picks. Actually, this yarn is all from Knit Picks. I really like the affordability, and it came so fast. And I think they have a really good selection. So all the yarn I tried, I enjoyed, and I would recommend them if you do need a very affordable yarn choice. I also want to try drops. I also loved recycled yarn on Etsy. I supported her this year. I would definitely recommend that. Shopping from her shop as well, which I want to continue to do in the future. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that Knit Picks, in terms of commercial, really affordable yarn, was probably the winner for me this year, and that will be something I continue to purchase from sporadically, or when I do need a very budget-friendly yarn. Also for them, and even like for Lion Brand or other places, shopping through, I know like TL Yarn Crafts, Knits and Knots Winnipeg, and I'm sure so many more people have affiliate links with these brands, so you can support them just by simply clicking through their blog or through their link that they post. A little tip there. Let's see. Dun. most memorable, I already talked about the Ranunculus, and the Ranunculus is my favorite pattern that I made this, well, it's a pattern I want to knit again the most. Like, I could see myself making a ton more Ranunculuses. So, but also, you know, I love so many other patterns, but like this, I don't see myself making this again. But I would say that is one, this Ranunculus is one that I would certainly make several or many more times. Let's see. Oh, yep, I just mentioned the small shop thing already. And then finally, I had 14 finished garments when I tallied it all up. Now, garments does mean short sleeve tops and tank tops for me. So it's not all sweaters with long sleeves. So that does obviously cut a bit of the time off. 4 of them were gifts. So I guess probably the 3 Ranunculuses and then the orange sweater that I made in November. I'm thinking were all the gifts. I would have to go back and look again, but I think that's right. So I believe I didn't go back and look at my first podcast, but I think my first podcast I talked about some of my goals for 2021. And what I remember most was wanting to knit more color work. Specifically the Rambling Woman jacket / cardigan. It is a full-on color work cardigan. I did not make it this year. I've had the pattern for at least 2 years now, though. I love it. I still definitely want to make it. I want to definitely make maybe some more soldatnas or some other color work before diving into that, because that's steeked, that's color work, and I've never done either of those. I haven't done color work very often. I've never steeked, and it's a fingering weight project. I just want to be more confident, so I still have to catch up on that goal. So that would be a goal that I'm carrying in to 2022. But I don't have many specific goals. Like brioche or a shawl, neither crossed my mind when I was goal setting in 2021. I was always like, no, I don't want to knit a shawl. I don't need to learn brioche. So it's just really expect the unexpected. There's going to be things that come up that I fall in love with. There's going to be techniques that I didn't know I wanted to learn. And that is what's on my radar and why I'm not making a specific, like, make 9 or these are the certain things I want to make or techniques I want to learn. But I will say something I have started to concentrate on a little bit is knitting more for my wardrobe. So I love color. I love knitting with color, but I do think color, the bright colors I love, can make a garment more casual. And I think at this point I have made several t-shirt type things and more casual garments, tank tops and such, where I think I want to stray into maybe or more neutral or some colors that aren't so in your face that I could present in a more professional manner. So I can wear them in a, just in a, like, I don't know, if I'm going to church with my family or, an office setting. Not that I go to an office right now, but in the future, that's just more professional looking. So to me, that would be some more solid, muted colors. And that's not something I'm going to be always doing. Like, I love the colors in this. That's just one thing I want to be more mindful of. And then, like, the Lilling cardigan I made last year, or in 2021, that is last year, I did a tan color with the really fun buttons, and that is just a perfect combination of what I'm looking for. So just an expansion on something like that. Not to say I won't be knitting with color, though I certainly will. I just want to incorporate those other elements into my knitting plans as well as the time comes along. Let's look at some more 2022 thoughts. If you do want to see some of the garments or not just garments, some of the patterns that are on top of my mind, I do have a queue. I think it's like literally 75 projects long on Ravelry. So if you wanted to take a look, those are mostly items in my library that I have purchased or obtained for free. So those, and then I've got like thousands or hundreds at least of favorites, other projects and patterns on Ravelry to pursue one day. But that queue would be the loosest, or would be the closest thing I have to some kind of loose checklist of projects and patterns to make that are on my mind. So yes, so 2022, I would consider another shawl. I would also, another item that I've always been no way Jose, but am considering a little bit, is socks. My boyfriend has been nudging me for socks for a while, and I always tell him, well, one, the boyfriend curse, I'm not knitting him anything more than really a hat, till he's more than just my boyfriend. And two, I thought socks were so tedious. Why would I want to knit something that's going to my feet? But I think that might be fun, maybe. So, and also, like I mentioned, I've been knitting hats on my lunch break, but I could see how socks would be a good project for vanilla socks. Could be a good project for taking along with you in your bag for lunch or waiting on meetings or whatever. So I may venture into Sockland this year. We'll see. It's not something I'm completely opposed to anymore. That's everything actually on my notes already. I already went through all that. I mean, it's been 17 minutes, so it has been talking for a little while. As you've seen, I've gotten into spinning a little bit, so I do want to continue to spin and strengthen that skill. And I would love to incorporate some spinning into color work on garments. Every time I see that, it's so beautiful. When I see hand spun as color work, I think it's stunning. What else? Just the other crafts that I endeavored into this year too. I would love to expand my knowledge on those. Embroidery was really fun. I really enjoyed this. Is my embroidery here. I really enjoyed making that. I would like to continue. I don't know. There's just so many other crafts. I also on Etsy have like a whole, I don't know, it's probably 50 items long of just DIY candles and coasters and other just fun things that I would love to get into. I got some watercolor supplies for Christmas, so I would like to continue my watercoloring experiments. This is one of those experiments right there. And then that is crochet. Yeah, so there's just a lot that I would like to try and continue to expand this DIY, environmentally friendly goals that I've been setting for myself as much as I can. And that's about it. Oh, finally, this is not about knitting, but I guess this is, and it's not necessarily a New Year's resolution, but kind of it is. At least for now, I have been spending less time on social media. I'm obviously still here on YouTube, but I deleted Instagram from my phone because a couple of videos back was an hour long and I couldn't get it to download and save. So I had to delete a ton of apps, and then I just never re-downloaded it. I don't go on Facebook either. So yeah, I realized, I've just enjoyed spending less time on my phone and less time scrolling, especially like I said on my lunch breaks. I'm not just scrolling Instagram. I do read some news, but I also am like knitting a hat, and I just think that for me is so much healthier personally, and I'm enjoying that. I've got my newsletters. I'm on Ravelry. It's like a knitting social media. I'm still here on YouTube, so I'm not saying I'm completely cutting out phone time or anything yet, at least. But that one aspect has been really nice so far, and I may make it permanent, or I may. I don't want to say that and then be a hypocrite and come back, but I'm really enjoying the time off of so much social media, at least. So I hope to continue that and just make more time for my real life in 2022. All right, thank you for listening.